Hello everyone, I am so excited that you're tuning in today. I am back with another video and we're talking about feminine energy and receiving more. Feminine energy basically means the opposite of constantly doing and being more in a state of being present and being connected with your body and realizing what your needs are and being connected with them. So when we're disconnected from our feminine energy, we, on our feminine side, we do things such as pushing over our own boundaries and limitations at our own expense. So there's one thing that you push yourself and go out of your comfort zone because it serves you. And I'm not saying you're like feminine and you're like never challenging yourself and you're just at home and reading and doing nothing, but it means not doing it at the expense of your health, at the expense of your well-being, but prioritizing your well-being and prioritizing feeling good. So when we feel good and we are connected to our body, we are in our feminine energy. We're connected to our feminine side because it feels good. When for example, when I work and I feel so good working, like it's so much fun. I create my website, I create those YouTube videos, I added them, I don't know, I create a thumbnail. Even when I do things for uni, like I have so much fun doing it and I love it. And I could be working for 10 hours straight and it seems like I'm working all the time, but I feel so good and I feel so relaxed while doing so that I am still in my feminine energy even though I'm working like so many hours. And I remembered when I first had my first like internship job, something like that, and I worked with a woman and she had 3 businesses and she was like constantly working. She could work like 12 hours a day, but she had so much fun. She felt so good. She was so happy. She enjoyed it so much that she wasn't burned out and she wasn't exhausted. She was just having fun. And that seemed to be her business. And it seemed to make her a lot of money. But it was not at her own expense. It was not at, I have to do this because, and I feel actually very bad and terrible doing so. And I think like being back connected to our needs and what our body needs is so important, because when we go on overdrive and we work more at the expense of our health, our well-being, and we don't sleep, we don't rest, and all of that, then that is just not good for us. And I used to like watch a lot of, I don't know, maybe like buy courses or follow people on like podcasts or YouTube that were men, that were like entrepreneurs, very motivational. But the thing is, I realized that their principles are good and great, and some of them I happily take, but a lot of them is not for me. And it's not for us as feminine women, because what might work for men might not work for us. And in the beginning, when I first learned about feminine energy, I was like, I don't know, why are they giving this kind of advice? That is like kind of trash. Like, why did I even do that? That destroyed my whole health. I didn't have my period. I was completely stressed out. I was like totally burned out. I was exhausted. I was extremely tired. My performance went down in all areas of my life. My relationship quality went a lot down because I was tired. I didn't have time for the people I love. I didn't prioritize them or myself. I didn't prioritize my health. I just felt sick all the time. And I was just exhausted. I was completely stressed. My brain wasn't like even working because I was so tired and stressed. So I was like, but now even going to uni and everybody there is becoming an entrepreneur or is an entrepreneur. And I realized that a lot of these masculine teachings are great. They're so good. And honestly, sometimes men need that. And also sometimes men need to be screamed at that they're not doing enough and that they should like get their shit together and do more. Because honestly, sometimes guys are also just lazy. Like, let's be honest, this is what I've just seen. But as feminine women, and even as women like myself, who are like very like even overachievers and who are like always like performing like very well and who are doing so much and who's like always on top of the game, that is not what we need. Like, we need to learn how to rest more, how to ask more for help, how to receive more, how to be more supported, how to trust people, how to like healthily learn to rely on others. And we had in class actually, I think it was like connected to negotiation, but he talked about there are three levels. First is dependency, and then is independence, and then is interdependence. And I realized this is what is also happening in relationships. Like first, when we're children, we're very dependent on our parents to survive. So this is a very like, or in general, we are very dependent on the people around us. We're very dependent, and then we get out of the house and people like make them own money and they live on their own. Then they're very independent, and then you get married, and then you're not independent. You're not 100% dependent. You're interdependent. Like a healthy marriage is you being interdependent. You know you can rely on each other, but you also know that you are an individual who can also care for themselves if needed and take care of all of the needs. So I was like, oh, this is also the stages that we as human beings go through in relationships. And so where were I connecting that to? So yeah, and I think that this is also something that we can learn more. So for example, when we're at the stage of, okay, I'm really independent, or maybe I also hyper independent due to trauma in our past. And hyper dependency always comes from not being able to really trust other people and feeling safe enough to rely on other people. So we rather do it ourselves because that gives us the stability of control and safety. And it might be true. There might have been seasons in our life where we grew up and it wasn't safe to trust our caregivers, the people around us, because we were dependent on them, but they were not dependable. So what was the only option? The only option was to become independent. So realizing that, hey, like being very independent and even maybe having developed hyper independence in the past is not bad. That is just, there's another step like above that, because now we can learn to be interdependent people, interdependent women. Like I can do a lot of things for myself and I can be very independent, but I realized that I really like interdependent relationship where I know I can rely on other people, where I know I can trust other people, where I know that I don't have to fight for myself in this life. I know I can always have people around me who are willing to help, support, and love on me, and who I can trust. And that personally, for me, makes me feel so safe and like really relaxes me, because let's be honest, when we think that we're the only one we can depend on and that our lives basically we have it all on our shoulders, that is just so heavy and so hard. And I don't think that this is like it doesn't make me feel good and feminine, and like I feel just so good if I can open a door for myself but somebody else chooses to do that for me, because I feel just so appreciated and I feel so seen and taken care of, and I'm like, thank you. Like these are just the things that make me feel so happy. And be like, or if somebody like just carries my suitcase, I can also carry my suitcase, but like that makes me feel like you know, like, oh, they really care about my well-being, like I'm important to them, and I'm like, life is just so easy and I'm just so grateful, and I just love it. Like it makes me so happy. Or if somebody's taking out the trash, I don't know why, but this is just, I don't like taking out the trash. I can do it. I don't like to. I genuinely don't like it. I hate it so much. And if then somebody's like offering like, you know what, I'm gonna bring out my trash, like should I take your trash as well? I'm like, yes, thank you. Like it makes me so happy. And I also realized that when we have people around us who are very much in a stage of I'm hyper independent and I do not rely on anybody else, it could be that they also make you feel bad for like allowing people and being interdependent, because they haven't realized that this is like such a gift and such a beauty. And maybe at some point I was also that person, but I just realized that we have to really look at what the beliefs are that people hold around us and realize how much they affect us, and decide first of all, if we can still be around that person, and if yes, like how much, without making us feel that bad that we desire this, even though they think that maybe hyper independence or being very independent is very good. So that's also something I realized, that not everybody is at the stage that I am at, and not everybody shares my point of view on that, and that's fine. That is so fine, and I'm so okay with it. Since I moved to the Netherlands, by the way, I'm just right now, I'm back in Germany visiting friends and family, and I'm so happy. Like, I miss them so much, and I'm like, I just saw yesterday, like, my friends, and I was just like, it just made me so happy. Like, I feel just so blessed that they're like in my life. But anyways, so what were you coming from? Oh, when I moved to the Netherlands, and I didn't know basically anyone. I didn't know anyone, not basically. I realized, okay, now I get to know new people. And in the beginning, I was kind of feeling desperate because I really missed my friends at home, and I really desired to have close friends like that, also in the Netherlands. And then I realized, meeting new people, oh, it takes so much to build friendships the way that I have at home. And it also took me quite some time to build those friendships, right? So it doesn't happen just overnight. And now I'm at this fun point where I meet people, and because I'm really taking care of my emotional needs, like I'm really looking into like what is it that I'm like really needing and desire to get from other people, and like really looking at those things and going deep. And then some things I just like then reach out to people that I know that they can like happily want to give that to me. So it's like I do my work, and then I also like receive from other people. Um, that it's so fun. Like there are all these people that I can meet, and they could potentially become like my friends or close friends, and I can just decide and pick. And then people are coming here, and I used to get to know people and be like, okay, yeah, let's be friends, like inside. But then I realized, okay, maybe they smoke, maybe they eat very unhealthy, maybe they're very feminist. Like I love women and I love men, but I wouldn't consider myself a feminist, like being like, oh, men are trash, or like women need to work more. No, no, no. People can do that, but that is not the way I like have my beliefs. So I'm like, okay, that doesn't work for me either. Okay, they're really into business. Okay, that's cool. Like you can share that, but they don't share my faith, and that's also really important for me in close friendships. Okay, they don't have this or that. So instead of seeing a person and then being disappointed that they're not the one that I'm looking for, basically, or what I really want to, and then trying to change them, or trying to like make them something that they're not, just seeing people and just observing and be like, okay, this is how they are, this is so interesting, okay. And then be like, okay, maybe in this area we can connect, and maybe in this area we cannot, but maybe this is great for just like acquaintances, just like you know each other, and it's so nice to just say hi. And then with other people, they're like, oh, they have more values that match, so maybe we can be closer. And instead of forcing it, just allowing people to genuinely get to know them, and basically just date also for friendships, like just meeting up with people and getting to know them, just having a coffee. I don't drink coffee, but like going somewhere and just getting something to drink or eat, or going for a walk and doing something and just getting to know them. Yeah, maybe we're not a match, and that's fine, but just like having the attitude of dating other people for friendships, for all the things. So I think that's something that I just like started doing, and that I love so much, and that is so much fun, and that just feels so good. And I don't know where it came from, starting with feminine energy, but that's something that I really wanted to share, and that I really learned. So And also meeting new people, I realized that you always meet people at the level that you are, and you always meet people at the self-worth you have. So when I had very low self-worth, I didn't feel comfortable approaching or being around people who seemed very confident and very self-assured and had very high self-worth. I chose people who had more lower self-worth, because we were matched, like we were energetically matched, and we had similar problems, struggles, beliefs, and things. And of course, I didn't say like, okay, you have low self worth, I have low self worth, we should be friends. You have high self worth, I don't think so. We can be a match. But this was something that I was subconsciously doing, and then I realized, oh, wow. And now, since my self worth is way higher, the people that I attract and the people that I feel comfortable being around are people with high self worth, are people who know themselves, are people who stand their ground, who have values, who are grounded in who they are. Because otherwise, there's no match. The struggles that person had, I also had, but now I don't have it anymore, and it doesn't really connect us. So this is something that's really like that I realized, and that I really desire for you to have as well, because it's so cool. Like, the more you know who you are, the more you meet people who also know who they are, and you can meet at like getting to know each other as individuals, as two full and complete people who just like to spend time with other people. And I think that is just so much fun. So that's something I really wanted to share. And I created a whole course about feminine self-worth. So what is feminine self-worth? Feminine self-worth is basically knowing that we are worthy, we're good enough, we are loved, and having beliefs that support that. Having a subconscious program that supports that, and that make us feel worthy in who I am, that make us feel like I am worthy and I'm good enough, and I deserve to be treated with love, respect, and be cared for. And feminine energy thrives on feeling safe and receiving. Those are the two things. And when we feel worthy, we can allow ourselves to receive. If we do not have the component of feeling worthy, we cannot receive. Because if I don't feel worthy for you to buy me flowers, or I don't know, bring paying for my I don't know, like a date, like when a guy like asks me for a date, and then he's like bringing me all these, I don't know, gifts, or I don't know, like paying for things, or if a family member like wants to support me in some way, I can only receive that when I feel worthy of receiving it. And otherwise, I would try to compensate and doing something for them in return, try to compensate, and yeah, just find a way of compensate so we're equal again. But when you feel worthy, you know, my energy, my presence, who I am is so worthy and so good enough, and people just love having me around, and they love helping me, supporting me, cherishing me, that I am worthy. I don't have to do anything. They will love doing it for me, and I can allow that they're doing it for me. And this takes quite a lot of inner work, and this is just not that easy to just say, okay, I'm just receiving. It's like you gotta stretch yourself, and you gotta like really look deep. So I did that, and it really helped me, and I love it. Like, I'm constantly still working on it to increase my capacity, but it is just so freeing, and it allows you to just receive, and like receive resources, love, especially love. Like really helps you, and it just makes life so much better. And then because you're receiving more, you can have more time and resources to rest, to relax, to enjoy, to have fun, to feel good. Then that automatically puts you in your feminine energy. So that's why I call it feminine self-worth, because self-worth is the key to connecting back to your feminine energy. So the link is in the bio if you desire to join. These are 5 deep lessons. So there are 5 lessons about the first one is about knowing your worth. The second one is about examining your beliefs. Then the third one, I don't have them. I don't know. I recorded them. But oh, the third one is about feeling worthy of love and knowing that you're a child of God and knowing that you're like worthy of like being loved. And then I have all of these journal prompts and exercises that are very specific. And I tell you, when you do those, they will change your life, because it's one thing the information I give you, the other thing is to do the exercise and to look deep within you, because your story, your beliefs, who you are as a person is unique. So you gotta do your like homework, and this is a lot of fun. I know we associate something bad with homework, but it is just an honor for you to work on yourself that much and to invest that time, energy, and resources in, yeah, just raising your self-worth and doing your inner work. So if you're interested in checking it out, the Feminine Self-Worth course will be the first link in the bio, in the description of this YouTube video. I always say bio because I don't know, on Instagram you're like, the link is in the bio. So it's gonna be in the description box. I hope you like this video, and I'm happy to see you in the next video. Best regards, Naomi. I never say best regards. It's because I wrote so many emails the last days. Like, my head is even hurting from emails. And so it's like, best regards, Naomi. I wanted to say much love, Naomi. Bye bye.